Yes, I and my colleagues in the Rural Independent Group condemn all war and violence. We also condemn the killing of innocent people in this war, but we do so by condemning both sides and not merely turning a blind eye to what happened on October the 7th, when women were raped by Hamas terrorists, others were killed and children killed, and over 200 hostages taken into Gaza by Hamas and up to 1,200 killed, including 200 attending a music festival. Just stand back and imagine if a terrorist group from the north of Ireland came in here and carried out those atrocities on our men, women and children. What would the reaction be? However, the current escalation of the war in Gaza is causing us all severe concern. The number of civilians killed in Israel's war on Gaza has been unparalleled and unprecedented. Such killings by either side engaged in conflict is unwarranted, and that is why we support a full ceasefire. We condemn the fact that more than 13,000 people have been killed in Gaza since the Israeli bombardment began after the October 7th attack in Israel. The official death toll in Hamas attacks stands at around 1,200. This motion, if approved, may be perceived by some as taking a side in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, potentially impacting Ireland's image of neutrality by calling for specific actions against Israel and endorsing the BDS movement. The motion aligns with a stance critical of Israeli policies and undermines Ireland's position as a neutral country. All hostages need to be released, including Emily Hand. As international pressure mounts on Israel to cease its military campaign, concerns persist about the country's reluctance to change its stance. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu declared on Saturday that he would reject any ceasefire that did not include the release of hostages held by Hamas. Israel's continued military operations have drawn criticism from various quarters, with calls for the country to stop the collective punishment of the Gaza population. Last week, we discussed a motion in here about expelling the Israeli ambassador. I felt it was both an immature and unprofessional motion. The door must stay open. As hurtful and as hard as it is to allow that happen at times, it must stay open. And the party to my right knows that as well as any other party in the country, Sinn Féin. When for many years they were exempted from opening their mouth to the media or opening their mouth to anybody. And it's been years that the troubles continued during those years. But when those bans were lifted, then peace seeped into our country. And since that, peace has been our way forward. So my view was expelling an ambassador was going to start a tit-for-tat expulsions from Ireland to Israel, something that wasn't going to gain anything other than a bit of media exposure, and we mightn't even get that throughout the world. I think our role as a neutral country is to broker a peace deal, is to try and do our best to broker a peace deal. And I plead with the Minister for Foreign Affairs and the Taoiseach to continue to use our neutrality as the mechanism to broker a peace deal between countries that are at war, at a severe and sad war at this present time. Somebody spoke about the Irish model of the Irish model of how we got peace, and that's why they're looking at that abroad at this present time between Israel and Hamas and others to see is that a model that could be used in their country. It certainly can, and there is only one way. And as far as I know, there's a ceasefire in the next few days, which will surely and thankfully get hostages out of danger. And I hope that that can be worked to be a long-term ceasefire.